Let me teach you how to make your own bread at home with no nonsense added. In this bowl, I have 2.5 cups of bread flour, 2 teaspoons of yeast, and I proceed to add a quarter teaspoon of yeast, a quarter cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. Next, I get out my food processor and replace the sharp metal blade with a blunt plastic one. This is so I don't get caught when I'm taking out the dough from the food processor. I proceed to transfer all of my dry ingredients into the food processor. And to this, I add half a cup of milk, 1 egg, and a quarter cup of water. Sorry I lost the clip where I added the water. Please do not forget to add yours. The next step is to start to mix this until the wet and dry ingredients come together to form a dough. As soon as the dough formed, I proceeded to add a quarter cup of soft unsalted butter. And then I continued mixing for about 10 minutes until my dough became smooth and stretchy. You can pause in between mixing so that you do not overwork your food processor and burn it. After 10 minutes of mixing, I check on my dough and it has become soft and stretchy. So I proceed to wipe down my work surface and transfer my dough to it for some light kneading and smoothing. If you don't have a food processor or a mixer, you can also knead with your hands, but that takes longer and requires a lot of arm strength. The next step is to oil the bowl that my dough is going to be proofing in. This just helps my dough not to dry out while proofing. Proofing simply means letting your dough rest in a warm place for it to rise. Then I transfer my dough into my oiled bowl and make sure that every part of my dough is covered with oil. Please note that you do not have to add a lot of oil in your bowl, just a little is enough to make the dough shine. Then I cover the bowl with a cling film wrap and transfer into my oven for proofing. My oven is not on or working. I use it because it's the warmest place in my kitchen. After about 40 minutes, my bread has proofed and doubled in size. I take off the cling film wrap and I punch down the dough to release the air inside it. Then I bring out my loaf pans, butter the insides, and I set it aside. These loaf pans come with covers and I got them from Amazon. If you would like to get them as well, please leave a comment and I will drop the link for you. I transfer my dough back to my work surface and divide it into 2 halves. I worked on each half, rolling it out with a rolling pin and then folding into a cylindrical shape. I made mine cylindrical because I was going for a full single loaf. Depending on the shape of bread you want, you can also roll into circles and put in your loaf. This is my dough in the pan after rolling it out and folding. Next, I slide the lid on and put it back in my oven for second proofing. Please do not skip the second proofing step, as this is what ensures you end up with light, fluffy, and airy bread. After about 40 minutes, I go to check on my dough and the size has increased, as you can see. Please ensure that after second proofing, you still have enough space in your pan because your dough is still going to increase while baking and you do not want to end up with an overflowing pan. The widely used and accepted temperature for baking bread is 350 Fahrenheit, but I use 300 Fahrenheit because that is what works for me. So I bake my bread at 300 Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. I also advise that if you are new to making bread, after the first 10 minutes of baking, please check on your bread intermittently to make sure that it doesn't burn. If you have gotten to this stage, give yourself a round of applause because you have just made Agege bread at home with no nonsense added. You can choose to pair this with fried eggs, with beans, with hot chocolate, with akara, with jam, butter, or peanut butter. Trust me, I believe this is better than store-bought bread because it doesn't contain any preservatives and you are in control of the ingredients that go into the making of your bread. If you want to store this, please leave to cool completely before transferring into the bag for storage. Just take a look at the texture of this bread. It is giving soft, fluffy, and light. I hope you take this as a sign that you can also make your sumptuous, succulent, soft bread at home. After sampling part of the bread, I put the rest in a Ziploc bag to keep. If you're going to be leaving your bread for more than 3 days, I advise that you store in the fridge. If you have any questions for me, please do not hesitate to ask them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.